If you had only 20 more minutes to live, what would you do? Write an apology letter and tell my stepsister that there are 3 boxes of anime items that should be set aside for another 5 years and then sold, because their cells and the hand-drawn sketches on paper and will increase significantly. So by that time they will be 30-something years old, and I paid a shit ton for them. And then ask her to divide the money between her and my brother. Invest it for their future children. Yup. Within first 2 minutes I would die stressing over how dreadful my death will be. I think I didn't do anything bad enough to hurt someone. Even if I did something bad, they were trivial. I did those things because I believed result would be good. But the thing is, I haven't done much good in my lifetime. Doing good deed and avoiding bad deed as much as possible has difference, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. Call my parents, tell them I love them and not to rush on their way to my house since it's at least a 25-minute drive because I'd be gone by the time they arrive. Then write down my passwords to make it easier to get stuff sorted out for my family. Maybe send a text in the work chat if I think about it. And with whatever time is left, I'd just listen to music and fade out on ketamine and booze. Call my mum, tell her I love her. Call my dad, tell him I love him. And with about 10 minutes left, I'd make a sandwich, open my front door and gate so my dog could get free and not starve. Burn my house to the ground, or at least start the fire. Text my crush and tell her how I feel and not answer any text she sends back. Then if there's any time left, I'd lay outside in the grass. I'm not sure why you guys are even commenting on this. This person obviously only had 20 minutes to live when they started writing this. They've been gone for hours now. After they spent 5 minutes writing the post, another 5 minutes trying to figure out why Reddit wouldn't let them post their question. You guys had a 10-minute window to respond. Rip off. Try and have sex with my roommate. She is attractive, and the only reason I haven't made a move is because living where I live for as cheap as I live is very hard, along with the repercussions of doing so. But with 20 minutes left to live, I can take the risk for the 5-10 minutes of fun and know the worst is coming. Figure out what to do with my cats. Feel bad because I'm leaving my roommate to either break the lease or continue paying for something both of us together can't afford. Call my mum and dad and tell them I love them and that I'm sorry I'm leaving first. Go eat something and cuddle my cats for the last time. Write a message to my wife and children to be open after my funeral. It would read, "Thank you for making my life worth living. Now please stop crying and live yours. Always be yourself and never stop smiling. Love, Dad." Then I'd sit there listening to Jimi Hendrix until the clock ticked on. I'd call my Grammy and leave a really long voicemail, then write a long note to my parents. I wouldn't go and wake them because I wouldn't be able to handle it and would want their last interaction with me to be happy. I'd sneak downstairs and lay with my dog and hold his paw until I passed. Been there. Dot was in Hawaii when we all got the same text, "It's not a drill, a bomb's incoming." TV and radio confirmed it. Wife and I went to the beach, walked hand in hand, recalling our lives together. Either it was a false alarm, or the afterlife is nothing like I'd imagined. Call my family and tell them I love them. Maybe chat with a few friends so I can resolve some issues. If I had free time, I'd debate on whether to play video games or masturbate to porn. Probably video games. I don't want to be caught dead with my pants around my ankles. I would write a heartfelt note to my ex-fiancé explaining how I regret that I wasn't strong enough to be the person I always wanted to be for mine and her sake. I would apologize for all of my mistakes and then leave a footnote asking for me to be buried next to my mother. Have the best sex of my life. Steamy, hot sex with the red-haired woman. We'd both sweat our asses off, and then when I told her I was about to leave, we'd both make each other come. On the beach, in the sands, or in a living room. Then we'd do it some more. Then I'd go, damn, run to my love and call my daughter as she is at her mum's tonight, and I could not get there in time. I would hold an open call and remind them how amazing they are. I would bawl my eyes out but thank them for all the love that they taught me. Hell, I want to cry now. Write my kids a letter, kiss them goodbye, give my partner a cuddle, and then leave while everyone is still asleep. They're all sleeping now. So I'd just sneak out, so that my kids are not the ones that have to deal with trauma of finding me when they wake up. I'd have sex with my old lady, and then with the remaining 18 minutes I'd speed to work and get clocked on so I die on the job, and they have to pay extra money to my old lady for the compensation. That way I can fuck as many people as I can with my remaining time. He knows which gun is the super crazy valuable one and how to transfer ownership of it legally. Then pack certain items into my car, drive to a remote area, dump them, and maybe make it home in time. Art ranting and screaming that the end of the world is coming in a few hours, and that the government is out to get me because of this information. Then I die on the spot, and watch the chaos from hell. Call family and the friends who've been by my side for years in a group call, so we can all bid farewell. TX Mom's BF my passwords and instructions on how to bury and remember me, cause Mom wouldn't be able to cope with my death for a while. How are we dying? I'll strip down naked so I could feel the wind and sun on my skin, and I would just stare into the sky with my arms raised to my sides and just wait for the inevitable end while focusing on my breathing. Husband, I love him. Tell my mother to kill the letting agent and blame me for it so she can avoid prison and live a better life without that cunt in it. And carry on drinking the booze I have with me. Why go out sober? Am I right? Make sure my life insurance is in order and write out any important things like how my mum is supposed to take my cats and sign over the title of my car to my sister. Don't want to leave anyone in debt because something is messed up. Get some super fresh hand-cut fries and down that with a big fat bacon milkshake from Five Guys. Sit by the river and enjoy the sun and breeze. Hopefully the service is fast at Five Guys. Or I guess I will cark it on the walk to the river. Call my crush and spill my heart out. Send all my money to my daughter electronically. Hug and kiss my mother and siblings. Play with my German Shepherd while listening to my favorite song as I wait for my inevitable end. Get a couple slices, I'd bring a bottle of wine with me, sit with my trunk up to watch the world around me, and call my family to tell them I loved them, while eating pizza and drinking a glass of wine. My journals and call my best friend to say that I love her, call my lovely friend to say that I'm sorry I'll not be here anymore, and call my mum to say to her that she's the best person ever on earth. If I'm not already with them, video call my wife and baby. If I am with them, video call my mum and sister, mostly to tell them I love them, give them encouragement advice, and then to tell them what needs to be done when I'm gone. Tell my grandchildren, I'm at the beach with that I want a Viking burial at sea and I don't want the fighting and fuss that the adults in my family would make of my death from the movie What We Did on Our Holiday. Wouldn't tell anyone or call anyone. I don't want them to say. I just talked to her, and if the conversation was bad, they'd feel guilty. Wouldn't tell them I was dying so the last moments aren't devastating for them. Tell each of the person I care about that I love them, and I'm grateful for what I have experienced in my life. As someone who is experiencing severe depression, the idea of only 20 minutes left to live is actually exciting. Hugely depends on where I am. Always gonna consider something nice towards my family that I let's say would be at the table with Hitler, Putin or any lookalike and knew I was going to die. I'd probably attempt a murder. Text everyone I know to tell them how much I love them. A phone call would be way too emotional for me. Then I'd do a huge bong rip and listen to Freddie Mercury. Probably give my cat Freddie one last snuggle. Tell the people I love how I feel about them if I'm able to do that in my state at that moment. No arguing or anything like that. Just the good stuff. I don't want to go out while I'm mad at anyone. I want closure. Masturbate furiously, and with the other 19 minutes, I'd eat the best thing I could. Then with 10 minutes left, I'd sit in a tub full of honey, so the coroner would have fun trying to clean me up for an autopsy. Tell a whole lot of people where they can stick it. Forget the I love you and I'll miss you stuff. And calling up people and telling them all the flaws and why they suck as humans. I hate to say text my loved ones, but I can't see calling and then trying to get off the phone to the next person. So one big group text each to family and friends, then hug my dogs, call my parents. My wife is going to need them here in 20 minutes. Then I'd want to cuddle with her and tell her I love her. My wife will need my parents to take over the kids. Send a text message structured like a chain letter to 10 not so close acquaintances explaining that if they don't forward the letter to 5 people in 20 minutes that I will die. I would just delete every file, photo, note on my phone, every email account, subscriptions cancel or deactivate. All potential character ruining internet footprints gone. Wipe, flush, hang out with my wife and kid. Maybe leave after 19 minutes because I don't know if I'd want to die in front of the kid. That I'd have clean bowels regardless. Go to an expensive restaurant and order lots of food. If food is slow and took over 20 minutes, I died waiting. If food is fast and I finished them all, the food killed me. I'd say I love all you, my family, friends. I hope everyone has a great life. Not call or text but then bust out to my favorite music then drop dead. If I was around my family, I would give them goodbyes. If it was just me, then probably quickly message my friends and tell them goodbye and then rethink all my life choices. I would make sure I published and disseminated my Google Maps scavenger hunt that I have been marking up and where I have been hiding items across the country for years. Message everyone and say goodbye, and I loved my life with them. I would also hope those messages would go through, as many of them have actually blocked me. Hug my kids, long, tight squeeze and look at their faces. Hopefully hear them laugh and giggle. And tell them I love them more than anything in this world. Call my girlfriend and tell her that I love her very much and that I hope I'm wrong about the whole soul thing. But if I can, I will try to haunt her.